All right. So, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mind at Home. My name is Mind Mover Mikey. I am one of the science communicators from the Mind Museum. Welcome to another installment of our Mind at Home. We are going through really trying times right now because of this global pandemic, and it's making a lot of people very, very sick, and it has put all our lives on hold. So, what are the things that we can do to cope with the present situation and the difficult times? And what can the Mind Museum do to help? So, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease and Disease Control and Prevention, taking the time to unwind and doing some other activities that you enjoy can actually help cope with the stress and anxiety caused by this pandemic. So we at the Mind Museum firmly believe that learning and play can coexist together and that they can play a role in coping with the present situation. And in order to help slowing down the spread of the disease, all of us are very much encouraged to stay at home and not to go out of our houses and go to public places as much as possible if it is unnecessary. And of course, it's very, very important that we should always wash our hands with soap and running water always. All right. So, how can we have a little bit of fun at home? And it's very, very nice for today's episode that we have challengers with me. Okay, so this is going to be fun. This is going to be exciting, and it's going to be something that we can learn something from. All right. So for today, we have a challenge. It's called Science Supreme Series, and I would like to welcome my very, very special guests. I have the first contestant or the first challenger. We have Mind Mover Peter. Mind Mover Peter, let's say hello to all those who are watching us on Facebook Live. Hi. Morning,
Hello, hi.
Peter.
Hi, Mikey. Hello,
Hi.
everyone who's watching.
All right. So my mover Peter is at home all the way from Quezon City. And then our next contestant, we have Mind Mover Fred. Mind Mover Fred, all the way from Cebu. Hello. Hi, Fred.
Hello. What's up?
Hi. All right. And
Hello.
of course, we have one more challenger. There's three of them today. We have Mind Mover Megan. Mind Mover Megan is at home in Taguig. Hi. Hi,
Hi,
Megan.
good morning, everyone.
Good morning. All right. Are you guys ready and up for this challenge?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes. All right.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
So to start with the challenge, okay, so I am going to share my screen so you guys can see some instructions. All right. So let me just set this up. There we go. All right. It's our Science Supreme series. Okay. So what are the challenges that we will be doing today? So we have three of them. They are challenges in forces. Number one, we're going to start with coin snatch. So you'll be catching the coins before they all fall. The next one is yank and stack. You will be forming a tower and then you'll be pulling away the paper in between the tower, and therefore the cups will stack. And the last one, I feel like this is the most challenging of them all, the leaping spoon. So you need to catapult the spoon into your cup or your container later on. Okay, so let's all get ready with our coins, you guys. Here are our steps. So step one, you have to stack the coins and place it on your elbow. We're going to be starting with 3 coins. Okay, so 3 coins. And step two, you're going to drop your elbow and snatch the coins in midair. So everyone watching us on Facebook Live right now, you guys can try this at home as well. So stack the 3 coins on your elbow over here. You're going to drop your elbow and then you're going to catch the coins in midair. And every time you catch the coins or you completely catch the 3 coins, you can add 1 more coin. The most coin, the person with the most coins at the end of 1 minute or 60 seconds will get the point for this one. Are you guys ready? You guys, we can have, would you like a trial?
Game.
Yeah, you're ready? Okay. Yeah. All right. So let me just set up the timer for all of us. There we go. And okay. We're starting. Fred to come back unless you guys will make him default on this game. Okay. All right. Fred is ready. I'm going to turn on our timer. Okay, Fred, don't worry. I won't make you default on this one. Okay. Ready? 60 seconds. Okay, so let's see. How did you guys do? T-shirt, how many coins were you able to catch at the last second?
The last second 5, although at the highest I was at 7. And I got really confident. I said maybe I can do, maybe 6 was the one. And then I said maybe I can do 7, but I failed there, so I started back at 3. So at the end, okay. I have 5.
All right. Megan, how many coins were you able to catch at the end?
I was able to catch 5 coins towards the end. It's actually the most that I've caught.
Okay. And Fred, well, unfortunately, Fred froze again, but I hope he still did the challenge. Fred, how many coins were you able to catch? Okay, so right now Fred is slightly disconnected, having technical difficulties with us, with his connection, I guess. So we will check up on Fred in a little bit. So for now, I think I'm going to give this point to Fisher for getting up to the maximum of 6. All right. So what happened on that challenge? Okay, so let me share my screen again to you guys. There we go. Okay, so it's actually about inertia. So as you can see, this guy, he's also trying it. And because of inertia is the resistance of any physical object to change, to any change in its velocity. Actually, it's not just velocity, but other forces as well, or any outside force. So the object, for this instance, it's the coins. They are at rest on your elbow. And the moment that you drop your elbow, like so, there is a little bit of delay, a momentary delay, wherein the coins are still in the air because they are resisting any kind of outside force. So the moment that you drop your elbow, they stay there for just a moment, for a little bit, and then gravity starts to pull them downwards. But because you do a very swift motion of dropping your elbow and then trying to catch the coins, you are able to hold the coins in your hands. All right, so let's check up on Fred. Let's see if he is back. Fred, are you back? You're a little bit choppy, Fred.
Oh, just a bit of network connectivity problems, but yeah, I'm back. I only...
Yes, Fred, how many coins were you able to catch? Okay. Fred disappeared again. It's fine. No worries. We'll check up on... Yes, how many were you able to catch?
Two.
Okay. All right. No worries. There's still two more challenges, Fred, that you can try to conquer. All right. Let's bring back Mind Mover Fisher and Mind Mover Megan. Okay. Just to recap the scores, we have 1 for Fisher. Okay. Fisher got the points for our coin snatch. Megan and Fred, you guys can still catch up. All right. So please ready the materials for the next challenge. We are going to be doing yank and stack. So we're doing yank and stack. So for this one, you will need cups, paper cups or plastic cups or party cups. And you will need some paper to put in between the cups. All right. So let's ready these. So place your cup upside down on a surface and put a piece of paper on top of the cup. And then repeat stacking until all layers are in place. Okay, so Fred is doing his stacking. Fisher and Megan can set up their stacks. And what you need to do is you need to yank the paper that's in between the cups to make the cups stack up. All right. Now, a little bit of a challenge here. If you make your tower collapse, you have to set it up back to its original 4 layers. Okay? Even if you're on the second one or second to the last, you have to bring it back to 4 if it collapses. Okay? So you guys, here's how you can do it. You can see that we have a GIF over here. You just need to pull it really, really fast so that the cup will fall to the next one and they stack up. All right. Okay. Are you guys ready? Yeah. Can you get a thumbs up? All right. Okay. Ready? Ready? Okay. Let's set up our timer again. 60 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. So I will consider this a win. It's Megan who got it. All right. Congratulations, Megan. I saw Peter and Fred almost got to the end as well. So at around 30 seconds, Megan got the last stack to fall on the cup. So Megan gets the point for this one. Congratulations. Almost for Fred and Peter. Almost. Okay.
Almost.
Yeah.
This close. This close.
Yeah, super close, man. Don't worry. So 1 point for Peter and 1 point for Megan. Fred, you got this. So I hope you get the last one.
It's not hard.
All right. For Yank and Stank, Yank and Stack, let's see what principles were being used or concepts. Okay. So we have here the guy, the kid who's pulling the paper. So here is about the second law of Newton's three laws of motion. The acceleration of a particle is dependent on the forces acting upon the particle and the particle's mass. So simply put, the acceleration or the movement of anything will depend on the force that you apply on it or being applied on it, and it is also dependent on the mass. So in this case, you have your paper cups or your cups that are slightly a little bit or slightly has more mass than the paper, right? So once you pull away the paper really, really swiftly, okay, you apply the force only on the paper. And because the cup is, or the cup has a little bit more mass than the paper, the force that you applied on the paper is not really felt as much by the cup. Therefore, it just falls because of gravity. And I guess Megan really, really got the hang of it. So that's why she got the points for this one. Okay. So you guys, maybe you can try this at home as well. Those watching us on Facebook, you just need cups and paper. You stack them up. You can stack them as high as you want. You can even go up to 6 or 7 layers if you can, with so much practice. And then of course you can always tag us on our Instagram and Facebook. All right, so let's get ready for our last challenge. Okay, this one is the leaping spoon. Okay, this one we will need a cup and 2 spoons. Okay, we're going to line up the spoons handle to bowl. So the end of the spoon to the mouth or the bowl of the spoon. Okay, and then we're going to hit the curve of the spoon so that you can catapult or you can make the other spoon leap into the cup. All right, so let's see an example over here. Hope you guys can see it. There we go. So you place the spoons that way. So end or handle to the bowl or mouth of the spoon, and you hit it. Therefore, it will launch and get shot into the air, going into the cup. Are you guys ready? Yes, ready? Fred is ready. Hope you get this one this time, Fred. What teacher has been practicing this. Okay, we'll get our timer ready again. So let me just set this up. Okay. So, Fred, how many did you get to shoot into your bowl?
Does it count if they flew in and then flew out of the bowl?
Oh.
No.
Only two. It
Got
kept going
two.
in and
All
hopping
right. At
out.
least you got two. It's fine. No worries. Maybe a little bit more adjustments next time. Megan, how many did
Yeah.
you get in?
I also only got two to stay inside the container.
Okay.
It kept
Two.
hopping out, right?
And Fisher, I saw you did more than two. How many did you get to do?
I got 8.
Okay, congratulations, Fisher. So Fisher is our ultimate scientist for today. Yay! All right. So what happened with our leaping spoon? So let's see here. There we go. Okay, so for this one, we have our third law of motion, which says each action brings an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, so what happened here was that as you hit the spoon, the first spoon, downward, it it goes upward, okay, in equal amount of force, and therefore it can catapult the next spoon to the cup. And it takes a little bit of trial and error in how you position your spoons, what distance would you want between the two of them, and of course, how far away your cup should be so that it can catch your spoon without falling out again. All right. Okay, so you have your action reaction. So thank you so much, Mind Movers, for joining me today. But before we go, we have some questions from our viewers. Okay, so let's see what questions we have for today. All right. Okay, so for Fred, there is a question here from Abby. Is there a maximum number of coins that you can perform the coin snatch with without the structure toppling off of your arm before you move?
That's a very, very nice question, Abby. If you're asking about the record, world record for it, it's around 328, right, Mikey? I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so about 28 coins were the maximum for the world record. So yeah, I would say that it only depends on how many coins you can catch with your hand and how many you can fit in your elbow. You must have a very strong elbow. Those coins must be very heavy. I too, I guess, maximum. So we've got that going. Thank you so much for the question, Abby.
Thank you, Abby, for your question. So there's no maximum number of coins as long as your elbow is able to hold all the weight of those coins, and as long as you can catch them with your palm, then that is the maximum that you can perform. So it's actually Dean Gould who has the world record for this. It's 328 coins. He set this in 1993. He's actually doing a lot more of elbow snatching tricks that you guys can check out later on. He has this where he stacks square wooden coasters, I think, and he can catch up to around this high or a little bit higher. So he has really good flexibility in his fingers because he can stretch them out and catch them with his hand. All right, thank you, Fred, for that, and thank you, Abby, for your question. We have another
Hello. Yeah, so while we're waiting for Mikey to come join us back, I'm just gonna share some of the tips that I have for this. This one I cannot. Well, I can share some tips in theory, right? But I cannot really speak with authority because I was not able to execute the theory as well as Megan did. Because as you know, she won this challenge. But this one, right, as my mover Mikey earlier pointed out, has something to do with the third law of motion, but it also involves two other concepts, right, called leverage and conservation of angular momentum. So let me show the setup here, right? Okay, there we go. So I have my spoons here, right? And what happens in this activity is my spoon acts as a lever. But when I hit the spoon here, right, you can see it acts like a seesaw. That's what a lever is. That means you're applying the force somewhere. The thing turns in a different point, and there is a third point. So there are 3 points. One point where you apply the force, one point where it turns, and the other point where the force is affected, right? So create a force here. You have a fulcrum, what it's called, and then you produce another force here. And the force that you produce is stronger because of the longer length. It's what we call leverage. So that's the secret behind here because this part is longer than the bowl of the spoon. So you create what's known as leverage, which can make your other spoon, the second spoon, jump, right? Because of that added leverage and the torque it creates. So Mind Mover Mikey is back with us.
All right. Okay. So apologies for the technical difficulties again, you guys. Yeah, let's go back to the question. We have a question from, I think, from Facebook Live again. Does the material of the cup matter, whether it's plastic or paper? All right, Megan, any thoughts on this?
I think it does, but the most important thing is just it has to be a little heavier than the paper used, because if it's lighter than the material of the paper used in between the cups, it will just like fall towards the direction of where you pull the paper instead of falling downwards, which is the concept of the game. So the material has definitely has to be heavier than the paper used. So that's the most important thing about the cups in the stacking. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Okay. So, like what Megan said, it's important that we make our cups a little bit, a little bit more massive in terms of like amount of mass in in your material compared to the paper, so that of course the force that you apply on the paper will only be felt by the paper. All right. And of course the cups, when they are a little bit more massive, they will just fall downwards. Okay. So I think we really all are having a little bit of technical difficulties because the weather has been a little too erratic right now. So I hope you guys are safe indoors. Is it raining in your area right now? It's a little bit. Yeah, the rain just has just started here in outside. So maybe that's why our internet is also having a little bit of difficulty in catching up with our presentation today. All right, and we have one more question. Okay, let's see. Oh, we have a little bit more than one. Okay, so will the paper between the cup also matter? Okay, so Pisher, can we have some thoughts on this? Will the paper between the cups also matter?
Right. Yeah, so the answer is yes. The paper between the cups will matter. As my mover Megan mentioned, it's good, it's best if it's light. It's also best if it's slippery, so that the friction between that's the rubbing force friction, the friction between the piece of paper and the cup is not so great. right? So if the lighter the cup and the more sticky, the greater the friction, the more the cup will follow, right? But the heavier the cup, like Mind Mover Megan said, and the more slippery this one is, the more the cup will stay, right? So the kind of paper matters, and the more slidey the piece of paper is, the better, the more chances of winning.
All right. Thank you so much, Tisha, for that. All right. So let's just recap all those forces or motion, loss of motion that we have discussed. So we have inertia, which is the first law, and it is the resistance of an object to change in its motion, in its direction, or it's in velocity. So an object will stay still or it will keep moving at the same speed uh, and in a straight line unless it is acted upon by an unbalanced force. And that's why your coins momentarily stay in midair, and in your swift motion, you were able to catch those coins. So that's your coin snatch. You guys can try it at home. For the second, our yank and stack, we have the second law of motion that states an acceleration of an object as produced by a net force is directly proportional to the force. So your acceleration of the object will depend on the force that you apply on it, but at the same time, it is inversely proportional to the mass of the object. So if an object is a little bit more massive, it will have lesser acceleration because it's going to need more force. So the action of pulling the paper will make it accelerate in that direction. But in this case, because the cup is slightly more massive or it slightly has more mass than the paper, it does not go into the same direction as the paper. It just falls down, okay? And of course, our last challenge, it's our law of interaction, action reaction, wherein the size of the forces on the first object of the is equal to the size of the force on the second object. So the direction of the force is also the same. It's actually opposite. Sorry. That's why when you hit the spoon downward, okay, it causes our second spoon to be launched upward, okay, and into our cup. All right. So thank you so much, Mind Movers, for joining me today. Let's see if we have more questions. Okay, we don't have any more questions right now, but you guys can always submit your questions down below in our comments. We will try our best to answer them later on once our broadcast has even ended. And thank you for joining us here today for our Mind at Home Challenge, the Science Supreme series, one of the firsts. And congratulations again, Peter, for winning our Ultimate Scientist Award for today. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you guys stay safe, stay at home, stay indoors. Even though the quarantine has been lifted in your area, please still stay at home because we really have to, prevent the spread of the virus further. And of course, always important to wash our hands with soap and running water. Always stay safe, everyone. Stay healthy. Don't go out and, get sick. Stay indoors and see you again. See you on Wednesday. We have another Mind at Home on Wednesday. It will be about biology, so you guys stay tuned. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. It's at the Mind Museum. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye.